So I'm not usually a fan of doing these videos in the car while I'm driving. For one, I get distracted because I'm looking at the camera, which I try not to do, but I'm just so busy lately that it seems like that I have to do this. The other reason I don't like to do it is because, especially while I'm driving, there's noise in the background. The audio is usually not great, but this is just a vlog update, so don't expect good quality video or good quality audio. I'm kind of just giving an update. If you noticed, a couple weeks ago, I said that I was going to stop doing the video versions of the podcast on YouTube, and I put out one podcast that just had audio. And then the week after, I put out the next one was a YouTube video. The reason for that is when I was editing the video, because when I edit a podcast, I go back and listen to the whole thing, and then I'm taking notes and try to come up with titles. I do use AI to help me with that, and I could easily just upload the transcript, but I'm trying not to rely on AI. AI is a tool that I'm just trying to use. Anyways, in that video, the conversation I had, if you listen to it, Alex and I were talking about doing video podcasts, and Alex, who has been a podcaster a lot longer than I have and is way more successful, said, I know it's hard, but you got to do it, because he didn't do it in his early days and he wished he had. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to go back to video after 1 week. So it's not like I'm a schizophrenic and decided I'm going to stop doing video and then all of a sudden I started doing it again. I just feel like I have to. And it's a little bit more work. I see less traction when I do a video version and an audio version on YouTube. So maybe I'll just take the audio version of the podcast off. But since you're the audience, I want to know what you think. Should I do that? Should I keep doing that? I want your input. So I would really appreciate it. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment on this video, then send me an email, thevaliantforgepodcast@gmail.com. Also, you noticed that for a little bit there I was posting a podcast on Wednesday and on Friday, and then this past week I put one out on Monday. So going forward, I'm going to do interview podcast on Monday and Friday. That's when they'll be released, Monday and Friday. And then if I have a solo episode, that's another thing that we'll get to in a second. I'm trying to find more time to do solo episodes. If I have a solo episode, it's going to be short, like max 20 minutes, but I'm going to try to keep them to 10 to 15. If I do those will be posted on Wednesday, and they'll be posted on the podcast as mini episodes. I'm going through a class right now at my church. A friend and I, we're co-leadering it together, called Act Like Men, and we're going through 9 men in the Bible who God called on them and they never felt like they were enough because they had false identities, and we're going through that, and then God used them in a mighty way. So we're going through that, and what I'm going to do here on YouTube and the podcast as little mini episodes is I'm going to go back and go over the classes as well. So I encourage you men out there that's following this. So that's the other thing. When I get the time, a solo episode in the middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we'll see. I want to know what you guys all think about that. Is that a good idea? This whole podcast, YouTube thing for me is all brand new, and I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, as us old people say, figuring it out as I go along. And I do get a little bit of input, and I do watch a few or listen to a few podcasts about podcasting to try to figure out a lot of this. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is that I am pausing right now on doing interviews. I have some scheduled, everything that I have scheduled, and some that I've had to reschedule this week because this has been an uber busy week, but I don't need to get into that. Some that I have scheduled and some that have to reschedule, I'm going to stay committed to and do them. But I have so many interviews in my storage that I need to get out, and I'm starting to get a little, I don't like to use the word burned out. I'm not getting burned out, but I'm getting a little bit maxed out on my time. That's better phrasing. I'm getting a little bit maxed out on my time, and I'm trying to dial it all in. So, because I know we are in October right now, we're only a few months out till next year, and every year, the beginning of the year, I make a new goal for the podcast specifically. See, I get distracted. That little yellow line that shows that I'm off center makes me want to adjust it. Sorry. I know. Squirrel. ADD. Anyways. So that is what's going on. I'm trying to figure this out as I go along. And I need to hear from the people that listen or watch. This is not going to be posted on the stream, so I won't get input from the people who only listen, but it will be posted on YouTube. So I need to know what you guys think of the podcasting, the way that I'm doing the podcast, where I do a little teaser clip and then I do an intro and then I do the full interview. Is that good? Do you like to just skip past that stuff? If there's a lot of you just skipping past that, because that is actually part of the time that I spend recording the intro and outro videos. I want to know what works for you guys. What I said in the beginning in my very first introduction, which YouTube has never heard because it's on the audio stream, that this podcast is not for me. This is your podcast. Whoever you are out there listening, the podcast is for you, not for me. So I want to do the best that I can to give you the best quality content in the appropriate way, however you prefer it. So I'm not going to do a poll or anything like that. I would just love to hear comments below on how you listen or watch podcasts and what you like, what you don't like, what you think. And if I get enough feedback, I will go with the majority of what other people are saying. But as for now, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I don't know what else to do, if that makes sense. So, just a little quick vlog update with what's going on with the podcast. And I won't be doing a whole lot of these. I'll just update every once in a while when I feel like it's necessary, and this seemed to be a time when it felt like it was necessary. So thanks for listening. Stay strong, stay valiant, keep forging your path, and be blessed.